Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 928.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about 10 reasons you need to know your net worth. This is something that I think is really important, and it's a habit that I've had for many decades, and that is to calculate my net worth on New Year's Day every year so that I can compare my net worth to my past and see if there's been improvement. Hopefully there has, and usually there is. But sometimes we have years like 2008 and 9 where everything seems to be going down, from the value of your house to the stock market, and so those things can't be helped. But in a normal year, when things are going well and housing prices are up, the stock market prices are up, we should be able to see our net worth improve year to year. So this article comes to us from Go Banking Rates. It was written by John Cisnar, and it says there are a number of different metrics that you can use to understand your financial situation. One of the most important of these is your net worth. Unlike your net income, which is an expression of how much you earn minus your expenses, your net worth is a tally of your assets minus your liabilities. By calculating your net worth, you can see where you stand financially and where you might need to make improvements. Here are 10 reasons why you should keep close tabs on your net worth. Number 1, you can see if you're trending in the right direction. Increasing net worth is one of the primary goals of financial planning. When you calculate your net worth regularly, you can see if it's trending in the right direction. With proper financial planning, saving, and investing, people tend to increase their net worth over their lives, in part due to the fact that incomes tend to increase as we age. If you find that your net worth is decreasing even when you start earning more money, it's a clear sign that you need to make some adjustments in your financial life. And I want to pause there and say I agree with that, and it might mean that you need to do some different asset allocation in your investment portfolio, for example. A lot of times if you're falling behind, if you're lagging, it's because your asset allocation isn't properly diversified. You might have too much stuck in a savings account, too much going to cash. You might have too much in bonds or in something that doesn't get higher compounding rates of return. Remember, with the McT Formula, money, compounding, and time, those are the 3 factors that are going to impact your wealth building. How much money you have to invest, what rate you can compound at, and how much time or how many years you have to compound. So most people put in as much money as they can, and their time that they have to invest is set to their age, which isn't changeable. So the one factor that can really improve your wealth building is your rate of compounding. And to improve that, you need to be in assets that can compound at high rates. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make, is they're not doing that. Number 2, it'll help you assess your debt levels. Debt is a nagging drag on net worth that's all too easy to ignore. But if you're carrying debt, it's important to face reality before things get out of control. When you record your net worth, you can see in black and white exactly how much you owe and how rapidly your debt is growing. By regularly calculating your net worth, you can assess your debt levels and manage them accordingly. Well, that's really true, and he didn't tell you in the beginning how to calculate your net worth. In case you don't know, you take all of your assets, put down what they're worth, your house, your car, your investments, your retirement plans, any stock that you own, your employee stock option plan, your business. All of these are assets. You put down what they're worth, the market value, and then you subtract any debt that you have, any mortgage, any auto loan, any credit card debt. You subtract all of the debt, and then that gives you your net worth. So the 2 ways to increase your net worth are to either have your assets go up in value or to pay down your debt. Either one of those is going to improve your net worth. Number 3, You'll be able to determine if you're investing or simply spending. Although there's nothing wrong with spending some of your money on entertainment and depreciating assets, it's important that a significant portion of what you earn goes toward investments. If you spend most or all of the money that you earn, you'll never be able to increase your net worth. But if you invest in appreciating assets like stocks and real estate, your money goes to work for you rather than simply vanishing. Number 4, it'll help you evaluate your investment portfolio. Calculating your net worth regularly is a good way to see how well or poorly your investment portfolio is performing. Although investing in stocks is generally a good way to build your net worth, not all stocks go up in value. Similarly, real estate is generally a good long-term investment, but buying an overpriced property in a bad neighborhood is not a formula for success. Keep an eye on your investment portfolio regularly to ensure it's working for you, and don't be afraid to make changes if it's not. Number 5, you'll know if you can afford a big purchase. Before you make a big purchase, it's important to know if you're in a position to afford it. Whether it's a house, a car, or even new appliances for your house, big purchases can wreak havoc on a financial plan. By knowing your net worth, you can tell right away if you're in a position to afford these types of big purchases without upsetting your long-term financial plans. If you're not quite ready, you can take some time to shore up your finances before spending a big chunk of change. Number 6, it'll help you keep your debt-to-income ratio under control. Your net income is a good way to calculate your debt-to-income ratio, but your net worth will also give you the debt portion of that equation. If you find that your debt is rising every time you check your net worth, there's a good chance that your DTI is rising as well. While increasing debt is typically bad in and of itself, a rising DTI might also hurt you if you're looking to buy a home or investment property, as it is a critical metric for qualification. Number 7, it'll identify areas where you can improve your net worth. The only ways to grow your net worth are to lower your debts and increase your assets. But until you actually calculate your own net worth, it can be hard to tell exactly where you need to improve. High debt levels, for example, are not necessarily damaging to net worth if that debt has been used to increase asset levels, such as through investment property. But if you've got high debt without a lot of savings or investments, you'll want to trim those levels down. Number 8, it'll help you set additional goals. Financial planning is not a one-and-done exercise. Rather, it's a lifelong process that should be continuously updated. As you reach one financial goal, you should be setting additional ones. Tracking your net worth is a great way to see how you're doing in relation to your financial goals, and it can also help you set new goals. Number 9, it'll help you plan for bequests. As your net worth increases, you might want to start planning for where all that money will go once you pass. Calculating your net worth is a great way to identify all of your assets so you can plan how to distribute them to your heirs. It's also a great way to keep a current history of those assets so your heirs or executor can understand what you own in the event of your untimely death. And number 10, you'll be able to ensure your emergency fund is sufficient. Having a sizable emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months of your income is the cornerstone of a solid financial plan. As an emergency fund is an asset, it's also an important part of your net worth calculation. If you regularly review your net worth, you'll always know where your emergency fund stands in relation to your other assets. If your emergency fund is too low, you'll know it might be time to convert some of your other assets into your liquid emergency fund. End of article. Well, I think this covered a lot of great things. Other than the one comment about buying depreciating assets, you already know what I think about depreciating assets. You don't want to have too many of them, although our car typically tends to be one of those depreciating assets, so it's difficult to completely avoid them. But I think calculating your net worth is a great exercise to get in the habit of doing. It really gives you a picture of your finances in a different way than just looking at your retirement accounts do. It shows you how you're improving each year, and making sure that your net worth is increasing is really important. So whether that is increasing your asset values, decreasing the amount of debt you have, those things are super important to focus on so that you're always going in the right direction and getting to your financial goals faster. I want to remind you we still have the Summer Sizzle Review Contest going where I'm giving away 35 prizes for reviews. I'm giving away 20 of my Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audio sets valued at $197. 10 people will be mailed a signed copy of my book, You're Already a Wealth Heiress, Now Think and Act Like One, 6 Practical Steps to Make It a Reality Now. That book is on the list of all-time best wealth books by Book Authority, and 5 people will win a 30-minute one-on-one wealth mentoring session with me. All you need to do is leave a podcast review for Be Wealthy and Smart on Apple Podcasts, or if you have an Android or you listen to podcasts somewhere other than Apple Podcasts, leave a review there, take a screenshot, and email it to me at lpjhome@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you're included in the drawing. The deadline is September 19th, and the drawing will be announced on September 20th podcast, so be sure and tune in and see if you've won. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.